Hold on. Hold on. Sorry about that. Mike was muted. Welcome to another edition of Box Seats. I'm your host for this evening, White Chocolate, filling in for Frank. This is the show we talk sports with comedians. We have a lot to get to today. So let's start bringing the comedians in, and we'll start with Howie Bell. Howie, how you doing?
What's up, White Chocolate? What's happening, my friend? You all
I'm
right?
good. I'm good. No complaints. Next, let's bring in comedian T. Jones. He's already ready. He's already ready with his Pistons gear. He's got the.
See you, Howie.
Change that to a. That's almost a Flavor Flav clock there with the Detroit Pistons.
Minutes. It could be like a little watch.
Yeah, it's that time.
Yeah, it's that time. Time to make a change. Yep.
And let's bring in filmmaker Jason Hayes. Jason, welcome. How you doing?
Them Detroit dudes real different after a win, ain't they? Yeah, you were talking real bad about my Pistons, though. Yeah. They real different after a win versus an L. I can tell you that. You was talking real bad about them too. They burned all that gear 2 days ago.
Nah. We wasn't never worried.
All right. So, D. Jones, you're only here for a short period of time. Is that correct?
Yes. I'm going to take my mama to see the Michael Jackson movie.
All right. So let's be nice. Hold on. Let me do this. We'll put Howie in first. Let's do that. Let's get to it right off the bat, so D. Jones can get his licks in here. The Pistons beat the Magic in Game 2, 98-83. No surprise. I don't think that anybody knew that they were going to beat them. Either they smoke teams or they find themselves in a dogfight. There does not seem to be any middle ground with this group. Do you agree with that assessment, Howie?
No, say that one more time. What
it says they can either smoke teams or find themselves in an absolute dogfight. There does not seem to be any middle ground with this group.
It's this what it is, man. We came out rusty, you know what I'm saying, and that's what game one was. Now we back to doing what we do. I said we was gonna win by 20 points. We won by 15, so I wasn't that far off. At one point in time, we was leading by like 26 points, I think. But nah, we just back to playing Pistons basketball right now. That's all. And they had to get back on track. We're gonna go down here, and we're gonna win a couple games down here. And that's just what it is. This is Detroit Pistons, man. It's a really good basketball team. They just got to stick to playing what they do, and which everybody saw is great defense. And when they needed those threes, they came through. So they did what they had to do, man. Detroit Pistons all day.
Okay. D. Jones, the floor is yours, sir.
Yeah. Cade Cunningham. So what it is defense wins championships. I think the Pistons is the best defensive team in the NBA. I'm talking about from the whole starting five, maybe not. Okay, the starting four plays great defense, and then you got great defenders. You got some dogs on the bench who play defense. It was, I think, 46-46 at halftime, and we went into halftime, and I had went back there. So I told you I was at the game. I went back there. JB told them, no more my bads. I don't want to hear nobody say my bad. I don't want nobody say my bad. I didn't get a rebound. My bad. I missed the pass. No more my bads. They got themselves together, and they played old school 2004 defense. Okay, they went on a 30-3 run.
Yeah,
and it was all she wrote after that. And it seemed like Cade couldn't miss. They say, "Oh, we got his Cade." Well, that's cool because he was on fire last night.
Yeah.
So, hey, listen. I told y'all Pistons in 6. I'm sticking with my Pistons in 6.
Okay, Jason, what's your assessment of this here that there's no middle ground for them?
I mean, I only watched the game through the third quarter. And I was thinking they need to have the same people who investigated Terry Rozier to investigate the Orlando Magic. Like, how the hell you forget how to play basketball between games?
They got too happy.
Bro, they had one sequence where they missed 3 layups in a row. 2 different players. I was like, they're not even trying to win. Paolo got all passive, like he turned into a pumpkin after midnight. I'm like,
He kept getting blocked.
no, he wasn't. He was missing bunnies. He wasn't aggressive. He wasn't taking shots. Wagner falling all over the place, like he ain't trying. He missing bunnies, shooting air ball floaters in the paint. I'm like, man, I think this WWE stuff happening right now, man, because they need this to be interesting for some reason. Like to see them play the way they played the previous 2 games, and then go out there and leave that turd on the court last night was just beyond me, man. I need an investigation.
But Jay, 3 games ago they got blew out by Philly.
Yeah, but I think they tried to do that too.
They inconsistent.
Yeah,
I think they tried to do that too.
You beat me to it though, D Jones. They inconsistent and they're just not as good, man. They're streaky. They're a streaky team, and that's not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Not in the playoffs, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to cut it. And they came out on fire and they was geeked and they got overly geeked and they got their asses handed to them last night. You know what I'm saying? I think that was the best third quarter from a Pistons team, I think, almost ever. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it wound up being like outscored them like 38-8 or something. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? That quarter. But so I just think the Magic got beside themselves, man. They start smelling themselves. You know what I'm saying? They got a wake up call.
Okay.
Call Terry Rozier's
right.
lawyer.
I'm gonna bring you back in. Speaking of WWE, Phoenix Suns star complains about officiating. Devin Booker complained about the officiating, and he basically said, in my 11 years, I haven't called out a ref by name, but James Williams was terrible tonight, and he suggested that the game resembled WWE due to lack of accountability.
And he was.
And so, as I like to say, the WWE is putting his hands everywhere. All the script writers are all over the place. What is your take on him calling out the officials? Because this is not the first time we've seen players call it out and call it WWE or call it for what it is.
So if anybody didn't see the play, he's going out of bounds. He's grabbing trying to stop the ball from going out of bounds. His back is turned to the court. He's facing the stands. He grabbed the bleachers or what have you. He grabs the ball and throws it behind him, trying to get the ball back in bounds, or even possibly knock it off somebody. You know what I'm saying, to get it, off of the other team. And the guy calls that a technical, like he was trying to intentionally hit this guy with the ball. It was the worst call and worst, almost, beyond egregious. It was dumb and it was stupid and it looked fixed. It did. It just looked like, why did you do that? You know what I'm saying? It was weird. And so, that's why Rasheed Wallace called up them referees a long time ago, man. And they hated him for that because they on some BS. That was pure BS, and that should be investigated.
Mm-hmm.
D. Jones, what's your take on the WWE scriptwriters getting into the NBA?
It was crazy because Jalen Williams thought the tech was on him.
Right. He was OKC player was like, is that on me? What are you doing?
He thought it was on him. I don't know what was going on. Had they not called a tech, they'd have lost by 1 less point. The only person in this series got hurt is Dylan Brooks. And he called out Shea. Like, I thought this was the NBA. You out here flailing and flopping and, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if the script is in. They need to just hurry up and get rid of this series. I'm tired of watching it. Pistons in 6. Jordan the GOAT. Go Patriots. I see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Have a good one. Enjoy the movie. Jay, he also said it feels disrespectful, and for it to be like that, people are going to stop viewing this as WWE if they're not a healthy sponsor. It's bad for the integrity of the sport. What's your take on his comments and where the league is headed? Listen, we've seen the Tim Donaghy thing going on, and now with the sports betting, it seems like it's rearing its ugly head again. So, what's your thoughts on that?
It was a really inconsistently called game throughout the whole game. So as much as it was just not a great game officiating wise, to make that call that he made on the sideline to call a technical foul on Devin Booker when he said nothing, he threw the ball back, which legally you are allowed to do. Like, I can bust Howie in the face with the ball falling out of bounds.
Yeah.
And that's legal. You know what I'm saying? If Howie can't get his hands up, stop him, man, trying to throw it off of him, but he wasn't even doing that. He just knew that he got bumped. He was going out of bounds. He throws the ball back. It hits the OKC player on the shoulder. And this dude calls a tech. And it was so ridiculous that neither player knew who the tech was on.
Right. Everybody was like, what?
Wait a minute. On me? On me? What? And then Booker's like, how was that a technical on me? And he didn't rescind it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like he just stood 10 toes down on it. And when that happens, man, as a player, like anybody else, you gotta use your faculties, and whatever equity that you have as a player in your reputation to call that kind of stuff out. Because this dude out here doing some wild stuff, and if he get fined, Booker, he gonna pay the fine, but I guarantee you the NBA quietly gives him his money back. Or they'll make an announcement that he's being fined and they ain't gonna make him pay it. You know what I'm saying? Because that was egregious, and you gotta call that dude out, and don't be surprised if that official is not officiating any more games the rest of the playoffs. It was that bad.
I got a question.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let me bring Howie back in because go ahead. You have a question. I have a question.
My thing is this: why can't, when these things happen, these referees get fined or reprimanded? You know,
Right.
when they go back and look at the tapes and they go back and do their reviews, and they find them guilty as charged, why can't they be fined?
Don't they have a pool report that comes out after the games?
It does affect them getting hired to call future games, though.
Yeah, it does that, but I'm saying for that, but that's the slap on the wrist stuff. I'm talking about if they really do something where it causes the, potential outcome of a game, or is that egregious? You know what I'm saying? Where it just doesn't make sense. Why can't they be fined? Like the guy that kicked or teed up. I think he ejected your boy from Boston out the game.
Right. Jaylen Brown, right?
Jaylen Brown, exactly, in that game. Yeah, against the Spurs.
So the question I have, excuse
That was
me,
BS.
as I lose my
Like,
voice.
why?
In this particular case, where there was a tech call or whatever on Devin Booker or whatever, is that play reviewable? Could the coach go back and be like, get a review on it, or they didn't have any challenges left? What's the deal with that?
I don't think the technical foul is even reviewable because that's like what the official does. Now, I think that maybe the officials can huddle together and they can say, "Hey, man, that's not a tech. You need to undo that." But I don't think that there's anything that a player or a coach can do if an official decides to call a technical foul on you.
But to Howie's point, after they come out with the pool report, if they came out and said, "Oh, we made a bad call," because they have done that before, is there any repercussions for them as far as getting fined, or what? The only repercussion they have is that they don't get to call any more playoff games, or any. Do they have a ranking system, like they get bumped back down towards the bottom of the list, like some other sports have?
There is something.
NFL referees do that.
There is something like that, but if you don't get future assignments, that's the equivalent of a fine because you ain't getting no game check. Like if you're not getting assigned, that means you're not getting paid. So I'm sure like they have like a base salary, for the regular season, but then the playoff money is different. I think that's like separate money from what they do, and every official doesn't get to officiate the playoffs. So he could easily get removed off the playoff rotation, and then they'll bring up somebody else to come in, who was like the next in line to officiate games moving forward.
How would we know if that happens, though? There's nothing in the news. Nobody says. There's no New York Post or anything that comes out with a story, or NBA news. I never see anything that says, "Oh, after the game, the pool report came out, and now this referee is bumped for X referee." I almost never see that.
How many officials get called out by name by a player, though? Like,
well, they're getting called more frequently. I agree with you.
I suspect that if this dude gets removed from the rotation, somebody's going to write about that.
Now they should.
He should be the first one to be fined too.
All right, we're gonna circle back to the games and whatnot, But I want to get to this story before I.
But also, Chaka, real quickly,
Go ahead.
Dylan Brooks can talk all the trash that he want to talk. The problem with Phoenix last night was Dylan Brooks had 9 more shots than Devin Booker. 9 more shots than Devin, but he's not a better scorer than Devin Booker. And for all of his bravado and stuff, Shea said hold is 37.
Yeah.
He gave that boy 40. So he was talking, but he gave him 40. So you can shut up if a dude give you 40. Don't talk to nobody if a dude give you 40.
I get where he's coming from, though. It's frustrating. I remember when Jaylen Brown got ejected, he got fined $35,000. He's like, I'll take the fine. At this point, these guys are going to just take the fine. I don't blame him. You know, if you're making $40 million bucks,
he's making millions.
What's his pocket change? You know what I mean? So I get that.
But my last point on that is, if they find the referees, I guarantee you to cut down some of that gambling. I guarantee you.
Man, they working on behalf of the league, bro. They ain't out there freelancing. Vince McMahon wrote that script.
It's the same thing.
They just playing a part.
It's the same thing as the NFL when I call it out. They're protecting the shield.
Yeah.
Everybody, Goodell came out last year and said the refereeing's never been better, and I was like, dude, what the F are you watching? You know what I mean? So,
and that's exactly why they won't implement a finding system like that, because of what you just said.
Yeah, and listen, it all comes down to the green. And you got people sport betting. It's all legal now, and they're making a ton of dough. And so, like I said, it's designed for them, and it's not designed for us. Let me move on to this real quick story we've been trying to get to. Howie, let me bring you back. Mike Krzyzewski's grandson was charged with DWI, sorry, driving while intoxicated. Give me half a second now. I lost it. I lost my notes. Where are you? Right here. He was charged with a misdemeanor while driving impaired in connection with a collision that killed a 15-year-old bicyclist. He admitted to drinking, and his blood alcohol was 0.11, and the legal limit is 0.08. He struck the boy who was riding his bike. An investigation is ongoing. So thoughts on what might happen to Krzyzewski's grandson, and, I'm going to let you say it because you always do, about them, finding a ride or whatever. So the floor's yours.
Yeah, that's sad, man. But people drink and drive every day, man, more than what people want to admit to. And whether this is DWI, so it's driving while intoxicated, it's just another name for the same charge. But that's tough. But I don't know why this is in the news, though, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? If you really just to take another angle at this, why is Mike, Krzyzewski's grandson? Yeah, why is his grandson being charged with a DWI even newsworthy? That's his grandson. That's so unrelated. You know what I'm saying, to anything that has anything to do with him. And I don't know. It just seems like a much ado about nothing story as far as sports world goes. I just don't see it being newsworthy at all. He's another person with a DWI. It's unfortunate, and they need to do something about this situation, man, in the country.
Is it possible that the reason it's a story is because a 15-year-old was killed?
He killed somebody.
It's people get, and I'm not dismissing the fact that somebody got killed, but people get killed every day from drunk driving. No, you missing my point. I'm not diminishing, dismissing, or lessening a death at all. What I'm telling you is, why is this newsworthy related to sports? This happens every day. People literally get killed every single day around the country for drunk driving and people hitting them and all that kind of stuff, and they don't make the news. So that's my point. I'm like, why is this even in the news? Because if that's the case, let's put a light and shine on all the other dozens and dozens of, hundreds of other people that probably get killed every year. That's my point.
But everybody's not the all-time winners college basketball coach.
Yeah, but it's his grandson. It ain't him.
But it is him. It comes back to him. Now, when I see this, my first thought is, in what world do you blow a 0.11? You got into an accident where you killed somebody and they charge you with a misdemeanor. That is vehicular manslaughter. That is a felony.
Yeah, it is.
So why, so the question is, if either one of us had done the same thing, ain't no way we getting charged with a misdemeanor.
Sure.
There's no way. So So we need to be talking about that.
That
That dude,
that's a point. But I still I get it. That's a detail, devil in details, whatever how you want to say it. You know what I'm saying? And that is you definitely that's manslaughter. You know what I'm saying? That's vehicular manslaughter, however you want to say, or driving while intoxicated or DUI and killing somebody. That's definitely a charge. That's not a misdemeanor. So I get it. That's more newsworthy than the story itself. You know what I'm saying? I just think that I get it, you know what I'm saying, of who he is, and yeah, I don't know.
and according to the
I just
article,
think that there's so many victims out here and families that suffer from this all the time. I think this is a story that maybe it can shine a light on the situation too in reverse, but I think that they're tying things in. There's other things to talk about. That's
everybody
all.
ain't newsworthy. Now you got to talk about this. This is Coach K's grandson. He killed somebody, got charged with a misdemeanor, and on top of that, he was driving a car owned by Paolo Banchero. That's a
Well, I
lot.
didn't. Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a
I didn't
lot.
know. I didn't know that was in the mix too.
That's a
But
lot.
yeah,
You know what
it's
I'm
a
saying?
lot going. It's a lot going on. I get it.
So what I'm saying is this: how are you charged with a misdemeanor, which means that he might even get jail time for killing somebody while driving drunk? That is the epitome of recklessness.
He should get jail
That's the
time.
epitome of recklessness. How was he charged with a misdemeanor?
And let me chime in here for half a second. You know what's frustrating about that is even if he got jail time, let's say he got 5 years or 10 years or 20 years, when they come out, they do it again. And you
Yeah.
see these people that have
Sometimes.
6, 7, 8 convictions. I'm not saying he's going to do that, but what's frustrating is you have these 6, 7, 8 times they've lost their licenses suspended. They still
Yeah.
driving while intoxicated. They're still
Yeah.
hitting people. That's the most frustrating part. And I
That
wish
is.
that there was a way that they could correct that so that they can't drive.
You know what? I'm sorry, Chocolate. I read the article again. So this is his second one. He had one in 2021 while he was driving a car owned by Paolo Banchero. This is a different incident. He pled guilty in 2021. Then his brother had one, a Dewey. So this is his second time, and somebody died in his second time. And they charged him with a misdemeanor on the second time where he killed somebody.
Okay, that makes him more newsworthy. It's layers to this, and so I get it. I get it. He has a problem, and it goes to White Chocolate's point. It's an alcohol problem in the country, and so hey man, listen. That was one of the reasons I stopped drinking, and nobody knows. I talked to Jay about it, man. I stopped drinking because it gets you off your faculties, and especially when you operate in a motor vehicle. And I promise you, man, the best thing that ever happened to me, you know what I'm saying, was to quit that shit and stop driving. I've driven while I was buzzed a bunch of times, like a lot of people have. You know
I
what
was
I'm
going to say a
saying?
lot of people have skeletons in their closet,
I
guilty
mean,
as
people just
charged.
don't want to admit it. I'm just admitting it right now on the show. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People do it all the time, every day. And so, it's a serious problem, man. It goes deeper. Like you said, people do, why would they get back in the car and do it again? Because it's a sickness and it's a disease. And so when you got that going on and then they promote it and the store stays open till 2 a.m., or then you can go to after hours, or you can wake up at 7 a.m. and go back to the same store, or you can party all night and drink alcohol as advertised on TV and everything like that. What do you expect people to do?
I always view it like this. Like whenever I see a story like this, I got two kids. They're in their early 20s. If my 15-year-old daughter was out riding her bike correctly, minding her own business, and a drunken person runs down my daughter and kills my daughter because they were drunk driving, and that person gets charged with a misdemeanor, a felony's coming
Right.
because I'm going to the penitentiary.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no way I'm gonna let that stand. And the reason why it's newsworthy, the only reason that this person is not facing vehicular manslaughter is because of who his grandfather is.
That's true. I agree. I agree. I agree.
All good points, gentlemen. Let's move on. We have more breaking We have more breaking Mike Vrabel news.
He
Mike, you guys are having a ball with this in the chat.
He couldn't even
I
say
couldn't
it.
wait to come on here with you guys today
Uh,
after this bombshell dropped. They were caught kissing 6 years ago in a New York bar, and this is before he got. He was the coach of Tennessee, and they were visibly close to each other throughout the evening. Eyewitnesses said that they were in a hole in the wall until around 12 a.m.
hole in the wall.
and they stayed for at least an hour flying under the radar.
Except for down southward.
and now he is expected to miss day 3 of the draft for counseling. Right, I'll put the air quotes there because you can make all kinds of assumptions about what that means. So, Howie, give us your take on this latest bombshell here, and there's going to be more, I'm sure.
I wonder who he getting counseled by for real. He in a room, a dark room with a flashlight on him with his
He
wife.
getting counseled by magic, by Don Magic Wand or somebody.
Man, Jesus Lord. Hey man, listen. I saw them pictures, man. You said, man, in the chat, man.
I
That
saw
was
them too.
Hey, he was gazing. They was gazing in each other's eyes.
And they were smitten, wasn't it?
Oh, they was. Mike Vrabel had the me and Mrs. Jones. Mrs. Jones. Mrs. Jones. We got a thing going on. I mean, he had they kissing, their hands to the knees, the whole laughter, the smiles. I wonder how long they sat like that.
He lived his wife like that, in 15 years.
Right. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna sit out one of these drafts and meetings. I don't know, man. This is woo. I don't know. Is he gonna be in because it's 3 days? Is he just gonna miss day 3?
Yes.
Okay.
So he's going to be there tonight, and he's going to be there tomorrow night. And I'm curious if anybody's going to ask him about it.
Oh, somebody's going to ask him about it. I can guarantee you that. Any good reporter would. You know what I'm saying? This is juicy. You know what I'm saying? So they gonna, people love to talk about infidelity and cheating and all that stuff. That's top notch. You know what I'm saying? What about remember the guy and the girl that got caught on the kiss cam?
Oh yeah,
right,
Gillette Stadium. I remember that. That was at the Coldplay concert.
Yeah, people love that kind of stuff, right? Yeah, man. So, damn, Vrabel.
Nobody's safe anymore.
Nobody.
Jay, what's your take on this? Let me ask you a question. Somebody had to sit on this for 6 years. Who do you think had this? And how do they come up with this all of a sudden now? Out of nowhere.
Somebody who understands, how to hold out for maximum impact. I can tell you that. If they dropped this 6 years ago, it wouldn't have hit the same because Tennessee wasn't doing nothing. They saved these until she got fired. He coming fresh off a Super Bowl appearance. Man, you couldn't have better timing than now.
It's not good timing for us Patriots fans, but yes, the timing is right.
Hey, I mean, for the record, I must say I love it. And it's not lost on me that once you sent these these photos, D. Jones ran out and bought Michael tickets, so he ain't got to talk about it today. He's like, oh, wait a minute, hey, Mom, you want to go see Michael today?
We want to talk about them Patriots.
I didn't put the 2 and 2 together because Frank's not here either.
Yeah, him too. Poor hamstring, with Frank too. You know what I mean? But now, man, listen, this is bad. It's bad. It's bad, bad, bad. Now, this may be why she got fired.
Yeah.
And it should be a reason why he might need to get forced out too. Because it doesn't seem like it's even remotely fair for her, both of them doing the same thing. For her to lose her job and him to be able to keep his. I think the pressure's going to mount on him to that he's going to have to do something. I mean, at least take some kind of multi-game suspension at minimum, where he's not allowed to be on the facility or coach anything. I mean, something like that's going to have to happen.
Yeah,
But they're
because
not gonna fire him.
in the eye of public, perception, it's gonna start looking bad in a minute.
He got to eat a
And
pound of flesh, bro.
So let me add this real
this is
quick.
what
So
I was
on
talking
my way home from work, the Patriots actually released a statement saying that they supported him.
Of course
Right.
he did.
Short. It was a short statement. They said they supported him. However, I kind of agree with you guys that if more comes out after this, and then more comes out, and it's training camp. Now the NFL itself is not investigating this under the behavior contract. I'm trying to blank on what it's called. Conduct policy, right? But
Nobody could be employed in the NFL if they did that.
It doesn't preclude the team, to your point, Jay, from them imposing like a 1 or 2 game suspension and letting him keep his job. Other than if it's so bad that it's too much of a distraction, they have to like fire him and get rid of him.
But this is what I was saying the other day, or whenever day that was, we were talking about this. I was saying that it's the frame saying, nah, it shouldn't be one to do with the other. I said, man, they kind of co-workers in a sense, even though they're not working together in the same entity. You know what I'm saying? As far as she's not playing and she's a reporter, they're still in the same business, so to
They're in the
speak.
same business for sure.
In the sports world,
They
know what
rely
I'm
on
saying?
each other. They rely on
Yeah,
They do.
and that's what I was saying. And I was saying now because something has to happen. She can't just have a penalty and him not. It's got to be something. You know what I'm saying? Because it's something there. And so now, come to find out, here we are.
But
You know
even
what I'm
so,
saying?
the coaches always find another way. Ime Udoka got fired by the Celtics. He's coaching the Rockets. They always
Find another way.
But he ain't in the same place though. He did get fired to have to find another job.
Yeah.
Right, but what I'm saying is, for some reason, the athletes and the coaches and whatnot always find like a second chance or a third chance, and she may not get one. And so, to your point, it might not be fair that one hand gets fired, no more opportunities, and the other side does. They get nothing or a slap on the wrist, or they get fired, and then next thing you know, you turn around, they're back coaching or whatever, playing. So there's definitely something there. Before we run out of time, let's move on. We have a lot to get to. Let's do. Whoops, where'd I go? There I am. Let's do this. Let's put Howie back in. Let's see. We haven't touched on this yet. Let's catch up on Cleveland going up 2-0 on Toronto. What are your thoughts on Cleveland? And are they on the verge of sweeping these guys?
Now, is that game 3 tonight?
Yes.
Yeah.
Game 3 is tonight, and they're playing in Toronto.
Correct.
Yeah. You know what, man? Cleveland looks good. And if Harden keeps playing like this, he's going to be hell for everybody in the Eastern Conference.
He won't.
Yeah, he won't. He won't. Listen, I always say the beard freezes too. But, I just think that if he keeps this up, though, and he proves us wrong, man, Cleveland is going to be something to reckon with over there. You know what I'm saying? Because they look pretty good. Even though Toronto is not the best team, you know what I'm saying? But they are pretty decent, you know what I'm saying? But we'll see what happens tonight. You know what I'm saying? Toronto can at least, keep the series interesting by winning tonight. We'll see. If they go up 3-0, wow, that's going to be pretty good for Cleveland.
Jay, what's your take on Cleveland? Can they sweep these guys?
This is the second most predictable series outside of OKC in Phoenix. They just ain't got the horses, man, to beat them boys. And they have more ways to beat Toronto than Toronto has to beat them. Like James Harden, he ain't really got to play big for them. He's got to just not miss the bed, because they got Mitchell, they got the big kid, out of USC, and I think their role players, are pretty good too. So he ain't even got to play big. Like they don't need 25, 30 out of James Harden to win. And Toronto needs like Scotty Barnes, to play huge, and that's just a lot. So this is probably going to be at best a 4-1 series.
Okay. Let's bring Howie back in. Howie, let's talk about the Knicks and the Hawks real quick. They have game 3 tonight. How do you see this playing out since the Hawks came back in that last game and beat the Knicks?
Oh boy, Oh boy, this is a dramatic matchup this evening in the NBA, baby. It's a hot ticket right now. Do you understand if the Hawks beat the Knicks tonight, what's gonna happen? Man, the sports world gonna flip. The Knicks are supposed to go to the finals this year, man. A lot of people forget that. At least were predicted, by all the analysts and all the people out there in the world, in the basketball world. They were predicted to go to the finals. If they lose to these guys, man, that's gonna be that. Hey, man, listen, bro. Atlanta is gonna be nuts tonight. Trust me, man. What you say? All the skin bars, titty bars, they gonna be off the
What's
chain
that?
tonight, baby.
What's that?
Lemon
What's
pepper
that thing?
wet gonna be blowing, boy.
What's that thing the players tried to get banned? Magic City or something? What was
Magic
that?
City,
Magic
yeah, yeah.
No, it wasn't players. It was player. Oh, hating ass dude.
Was it just
Yeah,
one
so
guy? I thought it was a couple of them.
don't worry, they're gonna make up for it tonight. They're gonna have Magic City night tonight, and especially if they win this game, Atlanta gonna be off the chain. They don't need an excuse to party in Atlanta.
They be throwing thongs on the floor.
I'm trying to say, if they win this game, they'll go up. What be 2-1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be That's gonna be tight, man. I'm not saying that the Knicks can't overcome that. I'm just saying that it's gonna just be a lot of chit chat about what the heck is going on. I promise you that.
What's your thoughts on the noose getting a little tighter on the Knicks?
It's hilarious to me that the Knicks have the exact same record as the Pistons
Yeah.
and the exact same record as the Boston Celtics in their series.
And the Spurs.
But it's the Knicks who got the noose tightening, and they're the ones that's in trouble.
But isn't that because they're
because of the expectations. That's
Yeah,
because
the
of the
expectations
expectations.
to go further.
So you think the Knicks were expected? I mean, you think the Knicks have higher expectations than Boston?
I think this
No.
season they did.
You
This
think they have
season
high
they did.
expectations
I
than
think
Detroit?
this season they had the Knicks going to the finals.
No, it's just that they had
Tatum
the
was
exact
hurt.
same
Yeah, I
record.
remember. Oh, Jay, I don't mean to cut you off, but Tatum was hurt, so they didn't have the expectations that the Knicks had. They didn't know Tatum was going to come back or even more or less be as productive as he's doing right now. So,
Right.
but the Knicks were at the beginning of the season were projected to go to the finals. The Knicks.
We're not
were.
talking about. Listen, we're talking about right
That's all
now.
I'm saying. But
We're
that's
talking
all I'm
about
saying.
right now. Who's the 1 seed? Detroit.
Yeah.
Who's the 2 seed? Boston. But yet it's the 3 seed with the exact same record as the 1 seed and the 2 seed that somehow the noose is tightening on them and they got to worry about what's happening next.
I asked
It's
that way
New
because
York.
exactly
You say
what
it
Howie
yourself
said.
all the time. It's New York, baby.
They were
This
predict-
big
they were
market, baby.
predicting
This championship of bust. This is, you know what I'm saying? This is Detroit market is different from a New York market.
I'm just saying, it's hilarious to me that this is the focus. They're in the exact same position.
Yeah.
And they're playing a younger, less talented team than the teams that y'all are facing. You know what I'm saying? Like Atlanta ain't got no dude, that's getting 33 a night, on their squad. So for me, the Hawks and the Knicks, they played each other tight all season long. So you knew it was gonna be like a tough series. And I just think, I mean, truth be told, the Knicks blew that game. It wasn't like Atlanta went and beat them. It's like the Knicks did a bunch of stupid stuff that allowed them, to blow the game. So if it's me, we go to the tape, we say, all right, this is what we did to lose this game. Let's not do that. These are the advantages that we have. Let's take advantage, of our advantages, and let's just play a focused, team-oriented game because they have nobody to deal with Cat at all. And the reason why, like Chaka talks about a lot, teams blowing leads all the time because of how they play. Once you get a 15-point lead, you should never lose that lead.
Yeah.
But since they keep chucking threes early in the shot clock, you open it up for other teams to get more possessions to get back into the game.
That drives me insane. It really does. As a Celtics fan,
Crazy.
with the amount that they shoot, 40 to 53s a game, they do exactly what you just said. They get a rebound, they kick it out, the guy doesn't even wait for everybody to set. He throws up with nobody underneath. Then the other team gets it, and they go down. They get a three. It's like, what are you doing?
With 20 seconds on the shot clock,
It's frustrating.
Once you go up by like 15 to 20, every shot you take should be from the mid-range end. Late in the shot clock, every shot should be taken under 8 seconds in the shot clock, because now you're salting the game away. But I'm sure the NBA says you can't play like that. You got to run up and down the court because the fans want more possessions and they like this kind of thing. And so a lot of teams are losing games, that they would otherwise win if they just played a different brand of ball. But that ain't sexy to the NBA right now.
Yeah, I know. It's like baseball with the home runs. All right, let's move on to this real quick. Let's move on to the Nuggets and the T-Wolves. They're playing tonight. Howie, what's your thoughts on the Nuggets? Can they bounce back from game the other night? Because they're in Minnesota. Now it's a different animal for them.
That's another series, man. If the T-Wolves, man, if Ant-Man, hey, listen, if he do what he was just doing the other game, listen, bro, they're going to be up. This series, bro, listen, Anthony Edwards coming to life is the worst thing that Denver could have happen to them, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that boy is good. He's really good. And he's finding his groove and he's finding his niche. I don't know. They're not scared of them either. And I think they're not scared of them at all. And I think they just called him out, one of the players, saying that their defense was
it McBride said that? Said
McBride? I can't remember his name.
Hold on, I got it here. I'll find it for you.
He called out every player on the square, all the players. It just was like
Jaden McDaniels.
That's him.
He called out the team's bad defenders.
Yeah, he called all them bad defenders. He's like, we just gonna go at them. They
don't really defend. They don't.
Hey, and he said it like with confidence. So that makes this much CTV. I gotta see it. I have to see this game. The NBA probably loved him for saying that because that made more viewership. Potential viewerships come in, man.
Can I throw something at you guys real quick?
Yep.
The old Denver Nuggets from the 80s, didn't they have like Kiki Vandeweghe and like Adrian Dantley and guys like that, right? And their scores of their games always used to be like 130 to 129. They weren't playing defense now, and they're still not playing defense 40 years later.
They never played defense. Denver Nuggets were never known for playing defense.
But they took advantage of the high altitude, like tiring teams out. Like they played high octane, knowing the other teams would fade like in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good strategy.
I just find it funny because it's the first time I've actually heard somebody from Denver call out their own guys as bad defenders when they've been bad for 40 years. I've never heard it.
They never played defense, is what you're saying.
Well, I know they've never played defense, but I never actually heard any of the players back then calling out, hey, we have bad defense here. We have bad guys, blah, blah. I don't remember that at all. And I think it's hilarious that this guy called them out. So
he's he ain't calling them out. He's from another team. So he's not. Yeah, he's from the Timberwolves.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was on the Nuggets. No.
He plays for Minnesota.
Yeah, he plays for Minnesota.
I read this backwards. My bad.
Yeah.
What he was saying was, y'all sweet, and y'all can't stop nobody that we got out here because y'all can't guard nobody.
That's exactly what he said.
Y'all sweet as K-Rose syrup and pecan pie, playboy. You can't do nothing.
He took it back to street basketball. That's some street court basketball talk.
But understand this: he had 16 in the first game and 14 in the other one. He averaging 15 against them. Yeah. So he's like, you can't stop me.
Right. Yeah.
You can't stop Ant. You know what I mean? So y'all don't play defense. So like when you ain't got no respect for a team, man, you can talk like that because even if they get mad, listen, getting mad don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
They talk about, give them bulletin board material and all this stuff.
I was just going to ask you about that.
That's fan stuff, man. Players don't care. Like if it's a dude that that I'm better than, and I know I'm better than him, no matter what he does, he can't stop me. I don't care. I'll say anything to him because he can't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
What you gonna do about it? Oh, you get extra mad.
Yeah, extra mad.
It's gonna make you extra angry when I still do it to you anyway. You can't stop me.
You can't stop me. But
All
I
right.
love when basketball players talk trash like that, though.
I
You know what I'm
love it,
saying?
man.
That you
Yeah.
can't stop me, and they do it is the best basketball. I love that about basketball
That's how
because
it should be.
that takes me back to when I played when I was a kid. We played in people's backyards, bro.
Right.
That takes that back to that. You know what I'm saying? And it's too nice right now. And you gotta understand, I'm from the bad boy Pistons era too. So
Right.
you know what I mean? All that nice, they my friends, and we this sportsmanship. Let's trade jerseys and sign them.
We walking off the court when we lose.
Yeah, we walking up. We ain't
we
shaking
walking off
no
the ring
hands.
shaking hands.
We
I'm
don't
not a
shake
fan
hands.
of any of that. I'm with you guys. I'm not a fan of any of that. No kumbaya over here. Sorry.
Nah, we don't come from that. Not when it
You at
comes to
half court, man, whatever, man. I'm going
Not
to
when
the
it comes to
locker room.
sports. We don't play that.
Talking to you, shaking your hand.
Now they're giving out participation trophies. Look how far we've come.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get to the
You
next.
get-
Let's get to the next item up on here. Wemby was cleared to travel to Portland. His status is still up in the air. So, Howie, what do you think about him being able to travel there? He did some light work, and do you think he's going to play?
I know the Spurs is happy about that. I mean, they like, Jesus, let's get him together. Listen, whatever Portland tried to do to hurt that man, it didn't work. So I guess he's coming back, man. It's good to see that. But that's the only way you can beat this guy. You gotta meet him in the parking lot like the skater did the other leg. What was that? Remember the skater had the guy hit her in the leg with the baseball bat?
Nancy Kerrigan with the
Yeah, Nancy Kerrigan.
with the tire iron.
Yeah.
Tanya Harding.
Tanya Harding.
Harding,
Yeah. Tanya Harding
yeah.
people. Tanya Harding had her goons and everybody. Yeah. They jumped to Nancy Kerrigan.
Why?
Yeah. That's got to be with this. That's the only way you can beat them. You got to catch them in the parking lot, man.
They got a little person hiding.
Yeah.
With a tire iron.
Out the tire. Let me tell you, if he plays in this next game, you might as well. It ain't nothing happening. You know what I'm saying? They lucked up and got that win, man, because that boy didn't play. You know that. I mean, that's just all it is. It's plain and simple. It's just right. We all saw it. If he would have played, they would have lost. He didn't play. They won. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, plain and simple.
So he's still in the concussion protocol, and he has to go through steps in order to actually play. Do you think he has enough time to make it through, Jay?
Chocolate, believe me when I tell you this. Wembanyama is so important. If they gotta fly in a puppeteer and tie strings to his arms and legs and have that dude operating him from the rafters, he doing this. He gonna be on the court.
Yeah. He ain't lying.
If he on the plane, that means that he already gonna clear concussion protocol.
Yeah. Because you got to get clear to take that flight.
Right. And as long as he don't bend down, who can reach his head anyway? He'll be all right. He a foot taller than everybody else on the court.
All right. Let me get to this before we wrap up here. Let's see. Hold on one second. I want to do this now. We're gonna jump back to the NFL because it is draft night.
It is.
And so we want to have what do you want your team to do with their first round pick? Not what you think they'll do, what you actually want them to do.
Well, what I actually want my Detroit Lions to do right here, let's put this right here. This is always on my couch right here in the man's cave. You know what I'm talking about? Nice and comfortable. I sleep with the Lion team logo, baby, when I want to take a nap. Listen, I think the Lions need what I actually want as well, and probably a lot of us, is a bad dog safety, man. Somebody or DB, somebody that's a dog though, like a Richard Sherman type guy. You know, Ronnie Lott. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We need somebody that's a dog because we're missing that right now. You know, I know we need to work on our offensive line, and we're gonna be able to tighten that up. But we need to get somebody through this draft, man, that's a beast on the defense. And, like I said, somebody that, is really a difference maker. You know what I'm saying? Like where, they don't want to throw to his side. You know what I'm saying? That type of guy. We need somebody like that.
Okay. Jay, what do you want the Jaguars to do? Because there's a lot of talk about them possibly trading back in the first round. You in favor of that?
Okay. First off, I agree with Howie because the Lions secondary is sweeter than Project Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like them boys give up 4th and 27s.
Yeah. They do.
You know what I mean? But hey, you know what, Chocolate? The thing that I would love to see my Jaguars do is have a first round draft pick. We don't have one this year.
Yeah.
Because we gave it to Cleveland in exchange for Travis Hunter last year.
Wow.
So we don't have a first round pick this year.
Okay, so maybe I'm misinterpreting. I heard some reports that they're trying to shop. Is it Brian Thomas? Is that the guy's name?
Brian Thomas Jr., the wide receiver.
So that they can get into the end of so that they can trade up into the end of the first round.
Now that may be happening, but as of this moment, we don't have a pick. And hopefully, man, when we do start picking, we go figure out how to get another linebacker because we lost our linebacker to Carolina this year, who led the NFL for most of the season in interceptions. They didn't want to pay him. Maybe go get us another running back because we let Travis Etienne walk. And even though we got a good rookie last year, I'm not sure he's at every down person. So what we need to do is for sure get a running back, and what we need to do is for sure get a linebacker who can run and cover and do all those things that we lost. With the dude that went to Carolina.
Is your preference the running back or the linebacker first?
Linebacker, because I think defense is super important. I mean, think about this. You're talking about a dude when they played Kansas City, a team that they barely beat in that Monday night game. Yeah. He had like a 94-yard interception return for a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's the dude we lost.
Yeah.
Like he balled out last year. And I think the reason why they didn't keep him was because that was the only season that he really played like that. And it was a contract year for him. So I think they just questioned whether or not, Devin Lloyd, that's his name, Devin Lloyd. And they just felt like maybe, we can just find somebody that's comparable. Maybe they got a young boy, that's already stable, who just needed that spot to open up. You know what I'm saying? Because he was hurt a lot too. So, I mean, I want to see us get a linebacker. I want to see us get a really good running back. And, running backs, you ain't got to get those, in the first 2 rounds. I mean, you can find a running back in 3rd, 4th round now.
Yeah,
3rd, 4th, 5th, and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe
a good one too.
Yeah, it's a lot of wide receivers too. So let's go get another wide receiver, add some depth. Right now, we need depth pieces right now.
Okay. Let me do this real quick. Where do we go?
But the Patriots, Chocolate.
Patriots, listen, for me, I want them to get an edge rusher. I don't know what's going to be left by the time they pick at number 31.
Yeah, y'all need that. Yeah.
I would be in favor of them moving up to get one of the top guys that were available. I don't have those names in front of me right now. But if they did that, I would be happy. But in typical Patriot fashion, and I said this to Frank on our show last night, Boston Straight Shooters, I said the Patriots' typical MO is they'll take the best player available, and it'll be like a tight end. they
got like 12 of them.
They do need a tight end, but they have 3 now. They don't have a young pass catcher behind Hunter Henry, but you can't. I don't want them to use a first-round pick there. So that's my 2 cents on what I want. I really want an edge rusher, which everybody else does too. But
they now the Patriots need counseling because that's what.
But they don't have counseling at the draft. You can't draft that, unfortunately.
They could need a condom dispenser in the building.
Listen, the only draft you can get, the only draft counseling you can get now is this.
Oh,
that's it.
In a 12-ounce can. That's it for right now. All right, I want to get one thing real quick. One more item in real quick. Let's do this again. Where'd it go? Here it is right here. What will the Jets do with their number 2 overall pick? There's some scuttlebutt about them either selecting Ohio State's Arvell Reese or
Nope.
Texas Tech's David Bailey, whose scheduled top 30 visit was canceled by the Jets, but not to read anything into that by the general manager. What are your thoughts on what the Jets are going to do with the number 2 pick?
I don't know what the hell the Jets gonna do. I don't know what they need everything, don't they? I mean, I mean, honestly, you know what I'm saying? Well, I think they filled the quarterback. They got my boy. What's his name? The quarterback. He's coming back. Is he coming back to the Jets or going to the Jets?
You talking about Justin?
Justin Fields?
Yeah, Justin Fields.
No, it's not him. Is it Malik Willis?
Is Malik Willis the quarterback coming up?
No. He's in Miami.
Nah.
Oh no, they got Geno Smith.
Geno Smith.
That's right. All right. So they got Geno Smith. They have wide receivers. They have.
So they filled
back.
that void. They got Geno, and I like Geno. That's what I'm talking about. They got that. But what else? I mean, they need so much.
They need everything
more. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Number 2 overall pick. What's that? Jay, would you say they're gonna get a kicker the other day? Who said that?
They'll drop the punter.
They gonna get a punter.
out of Midwest Technical Community College.
Yeah, University of Minnesota Tech.
Foxborough High.
The Fighting Otters.
He just wind up being the best kicker ever. Team's home.
Providence High.
Because fun fact, the Lions had a kicker like that had scored the most points out of that season. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that terrible? The team was so bad.
God awful.
Team was so bad that our kicker was the leading scorer. I've been there with that situation. But
must have been Dan Orlovsky.
I want Dan Orlovsky. Orlovsky was a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but our kick, I can't remember who it was. It's somebody, man. I can't remember who it was. I remember who it was because it's come to my mind. But anyway, I don't know what the Jets are going to do with their pick. Man, just go when they're on in doubt, go defense. You know what I'm saying? You know, go pick you up somebody that can at least be an edge rusher or somebody. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because Geno I think they got a couple receivers over there, 1 or 2.
They do.
Yeah, so they're not really lacking in that area. Maybe if they pick up an offensive lineman, it might help them, give them a little protection. You know what I'm saying? But, I don't know. They need so much, man. Ain't no telling.
Jay, being in New York, what's the scuttlebutt there? What do you think?
I'm gonna tap into my Chappelle show love when they had the racial draft, and remember when the Latinos, they made a draft pick that just utterly made no sense when they said we the Latinos draft Elian Gonzalez. They gonna draft Elian Gonzalez, bro. You know what I'm saying? They gonna get somebody that they absolutely do not need, cannot use, he will not contribute. And we have the same conversation next year about how the Jets gonna mess this draft up again, bro. I have no faith in them whatsoever.
All right. Let's where'd that get to? I lost my place. Here we go. All right. Let's get ready to wrap up the show. Howie, tell everybody how they can follow you.
Hey, you can always follow me, Howie Bizzell, HOWIEBIZZELL, or Howie Bell on everything else, man. And hey, listen, let me tell you guys something. This is a great playoff time of year right now, fellas. Let's enjoy these games.
I'm with you. Jay, tell everybody how they can follow you.
You can follow me at JD Hayes over at Fanbase, and this is exciting NBA basketball. And I don't care what nobody says. The NBA being back on NBC is a huge part as to why the ratings are up again. They never should have lost it.
Sure is.
No argument there. Follow me and Frank on Boston Straight Shooters on Facebook and YouTube. Guys, thank you for being on with me today. I want to thank everybody that's tuning in. Thank you for the support. Be sure to tune in tomorrow at 6 o'clock. We'll be right back here. We have a lot to talk about. The name of the show is called Box Seats. and we'll see everybody tomorrow. Peace.
Ooh,
Vrabel on these hoes.
Knickerbockers, what you gonna
Hey, what you need, yeah? Man, I got it, wow. What you say, hey? We about it,
That was